Getting a busy commercial space through a nightly reset like this requires a tightly managed operation, but the quality of that operation is dictated by a single vendor decision you make before a contract is ever signed. Every property manager faces the same tension, consolidating every building service under one master vendor or hiring separate, specialized teams for each job. This choice forces a direct trade-off. You are weighing your desire to minimize your own administrative headaches against your need to maintain strict operational quality. Make a choice that doesn't align with your building, and the friction begins on day one. You'll either find yourself drowning in WHS compliance paperwork trying to wrangle independent contractors, or you'll be locked into an opaque agreement where daily cleaning standards begin to slip while your invoice stays the same. It comes down to how much operational oversight you want to handle versus how much you are willing to delegate to a third party. Let's start with Integrated Facility Management, or IFM. This is the master agreement approach, where one company is your single point of accountability for everything. An IFM provider bundles your cleaning, security detail, HVAC oversight, and pest control into one coordinated network. But if we break that network and isolate a single function, we get the alternative: standalone cleaning services. Standalone providers strip away the generalist approach. They focus on commercial-grade cleaning, isolating it from your general building maintenance. The structural difference alters your daily workflow. Under an IFM, you have exactly one phone number to dial when something goes wrong. With standalone services, you manage separate relationships, coordinating your maintenance crew, your security firm, and your cleaners yourself. Your choice comes down to trusting a coordinated network of generalists or demanding deep, isolated expertise from specialists. IFM strongly appeals to directors managing large-scale facilities because it reduces the daily administrative friction on internal staff. The provider acts as an operational shield. If the cleaning schedule conflicts with routine elevator maintenance, the IFM coordinator resolves the clash internally. Your team never even hears about it. They also handle the heavy lifting of WHS Act 2011 compliance, delivering unified reporting, synchronized safety training, and centralized incident documentation across every facility function. But that convenience requires you to accept a loss of specialization. This is the generalist compromise. A massive facility provider might excel at heavy mechanical maintenance or perimeter security. But because those high liability areas demand their focus, daily office cleaning is often treated as a secondary priority. Under bundled pricing, line item costs compress into an opaque block, hiding cleaning versus maintenance fees. Once locked in by these chains, exit friction is high. You can't just fire the cleaners. You must unravel the entire multi-service agreement. You are trading operational excellence and financial clarity for administrative peace of mind. Now look at the standalone model. Focusing on a single discipline achieves a level of technical precision, resulting in a mirror-like finish. Independent cleaning firms invest in specialized training and specific commercial extraction equipment. They deliver results a generalist contractor often cannot match. Standalone models also offer adaptability. You can bring in a bespoke medical-grade sanitation crew for a clinic or schedule a post-renovation builder's clean without being locked into a rigid master schedule. Financially, you get strict line item billing. You know exactly what your cleaning costs, which allows you to benchmark your investment against industry standards and negotiate effectively. But the cost of this control is your time. The moment you strip away the IFM shield, the administrative and WHS coordination burden falls back on your shoulders. If your HVAC system fails and covers the carpet in dust, you have a problem. Separate contractors will inevitably point fingers at each other over who caused the mess, leaving you to mediate the dispute and arrange the cleanup. Standalone models grant you granular control over your daily aesthetic standards, but they extract a toll in internal management hours. When you compare the actual cost disparity between the two models, the math shifts based on the size of your facility. For SMEs, this cost per square meter graph shows standalone cleaning is 20% cheaper than an IFM contract. But as we expand the axes to a massive corporate campus, the IFM provider achieves economies of scale, driving overall costs down by 15%. However, you have to account for the hidden operational tax of the standalone model. That is the unbilled cost of your internal staff's hours spent coordinating vendor schedules and managing compliance. Evaluating true facility costs requires you to calculate both the hard vendor invoice and the soft cost of your team's time. Let's look at the criteria to determine the path for your facility. The ideal IFM candidate manages a complex multi-building campus and needs to minimize the internal staff dedicated to vendor management. If that is you, you must be willing to tolerate opaque, bundled monthly costs in exchange for unified WHS compliance and scheduling ease. The ideal standalone candidate operates a single mid-size facility or office space and demands direct control over their cleaning standards. To succeed here, you need to prioritize cost transparency and specialized technical skill over operational convenience. Many facilities use a hybrid approach. They secure an IFM contract for heavy maintenance and security, but retain a standalone specialist to protect the aesthetics of their cleaning operations. Your building's footprint and your internal HR capacity dictate your strategy. Convenience alone isn't enough to justify the trade-off. If you decide to transition from an IFM agreement to a standalone provider, the handover must be seamless to avoid gaps in service. You need a 2 to 4 week overlap between the two providers. This gives you time to conduct baseline walkthroughs and document all existing WHS standards with the new team. Lock in specific service level agreements with your new cleaner. Demand a 24-hour response time for urgent issues and establish strict remediation protocols in the contract. Review your current setup. Request transparent, line-item quotes from specialized providers to benchmark your costs and regain direct control over your facility's daily standards.